sorry. Okay, so now we're going on to the structure of the professional code of ethics. And that was part of our vocabulary. And that was the part that was down here. And we didn't explain this yesterday. So if you guys were able to get it, that's great. But this was the structure of the code of ethics, at least for the CYC, the Child and Youth Care. So what it looks like is we have areas. We have areas, and these are basically, think of them as the major categories. Let me present this. So these are the categories that we cover. So it's, I'm trying to see, where's my book? Okay, yes. So the areas, we have 5 of them, and they are responsibility to self, responsibility to children, youth, and families, responsibility to the employer, and responsibility to the profession, and then the community. So actually we have 6, I lied. No, that's 5, 1, 2. See, it's in Roman numerals and I can't read Roman numerals. That's Sunday school. That's where I learned. Did anybody learn Roman numerals in math class? I don't remember learning them. But
I think so.
Yeah, Roman numerals. Yeah, I feel like we did, but I don't remember. Oh, well, sorry. There are 5 major areas for our professional code. And then the principles are the value statements. So those are what we value underneath the areas. So if we're talking about our commitment to the society, you think it's in Latin class? Did you take Latin, Sienna? That's awesome. I definitely did not take Latin. I wish I did because it would help my spelling. Really cool. That's awesome. So Sienna, if anybody wants to learn Latin, Sienna knows it. She can help us out. So let's say responsibility to the community. Hi, Anaje. So then our belief would be we act in a professional manner, and we promote the awareness of children and youth to the community. So that is a principle. That is something that we believe. And then the standards are the practice applications. How do we do what we believe? And then the cases, these are specific issues, and the code doesn't really go into it, but we can talk more about that. So if I am showing you this screen here, this is an example of the first domain, or the first area in red here. It is the first area of the Child and Youth Code. So I'm going to share this document with you, and you can go in on Google Docs and look at it yourself as we are going over it. So it is color coded, so it makes a little bit more sense. So on the document, and I'll actually go to the document now to show you. So on the document, and I have it right here. So on the document, I have a code, or like a key. So I have the red, those are the areas, and that is the overall categories. Those are the categories of the code, or the standards. And then I have blue. In blue, we have the principles, and that's what CYC practitioners believe and value. So if you see the red, then you see the blue, you know that these are connected. These are the areas, principles, standards. So standards are brown, and what professionals practice and apply to their work. So how do they practice what they believe under the area or category that the code has? So I'm going to take a pause for a second and just ask, are there any questions? Because this, honestly, guys, like, you are learning some high level stuff, and this is hard. This is stuff that you would learn in like a really boring class in college about legal stuff in your career field. So you are learning that right now, right off the bat, but it's just, we have to cover it because it will help us understand the rest of our foundations course. If we cover this first, then we can get into the more juicy stuff that's a little bit more applicable, whereas the ethics are just kind of the way you think about interaction. So if you're understanding this so far, if you understand the red, blue, brown, put a yes in the chat. If you are confused, you can put a C. And if you don't want to put confused out, you can also private chat me that you are confused. So put a Y, you got it. And the C, you're confused. Also, feel free to private chat me if you are confused, and I will make a note. Awesome. It looks like everybody is getting it. For those of you that just joined, we are talking about the standards for professional practice. So hi, Anaje, how are you? Guys, I met Anaje yesterday. She's so cute. She picked up her book. Yeah. All right, Tahira, thank you for letting me know. So I will go over that a little bit more. And Anaja, if you have your phone, you can go on page 15. And page 15 is what we're going over right now. We're going over the principles and standards. So Tahira, can you do me a favor and can you read A and B for me? So we'll actually go over through one of the standards. Page 15 in your book. So, oh, and Tahira, you have the book too. You can go to page 15. I forgot about that. All right, Tahira, the A and B, can you read that for me?
Demonstrate high standards of integrity, professional conduct.
Mm-hmm.
Develop knowledge and skill necessary to benefit children, youth, and families.
Perfect. Okay. So our first area that we're talking about in the code is the responsibility for yourself, right? So this is how you should act in your professional setting in child and youth care, right? So the next part is your principle in the blue. And so these are what your beliefs are. So we believe that you demonstrate the high standards of integrity and professional conduct. You are doing the best, you are at the top, you are showing the most professionalism ever, right? Ms. Erin, do you have a dog or a cat there?
No, I dropped my hair tie and I picked it up.
Oh my God. I was like, well, let's meet your dog. Ugh.
No, I wish.
What a bummer. Okay, sorry. Side note. And then B was develop knowledge and skills necessary to benefit children and youth. So guess what, guys? You are already doing this. So you are developing your knowledge and skills to benefit children and youth. So you are already taking responsibility for yourself and you are participating in these beliefs. So how are you doing that? Let's read the numbers. Can I have, let's see. Maya, hello, welcome. If you want to go to the Google Doc, I'll put it here. And we are going over the standards of professional practice. So let's see. Sienna, how do you feel reading? Can you read 1 and 2 for me? And if you don't want to read, you can just say no.
Wait, I'm about to try to find it. Trying to do both.
That's okay.
You talking about the
1 and 2 under B, right here, where my little red thing is.
under B? Oh,
You see it? So can you see the
When
screen?
it say when it say recognize.
No, it says, so where, if you can see the screen that I'm sharing, can you see that?
Cause I'm on my phone, so I was trying to look at it.
Okay. That's okay. No. It says if you have the Google Doc, it's 1 AB and then it's 1 2. So it's Roman numeral 1 and then AB and then 1 and 2 in brown.
I want to say responsibilities of children, youth, and families.
No.
Oh yeah, I'm wrong.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Does anybody else want to read before besides Sienna? Zah, you taking over?
Can you hear me? It's going in and out.
We can hear you.
Participates in education and training for ongoing professional development. Engages in ongoing supervision and or counsel as appropriate.
Yes, thank you, Zah. So how you are developing your knowledge is one, and you're doing it right now. You're participating in education and training for ongoing professional development. And you are also engaging in ongoing supervision. So when you guys go into your internships, I'll be meeting with you weekly. You'll be meeting with your supervisor, hopefully daily when you go in, and you are getting feedback on how you're doing. So these are your code of ethics. You are doing them. This is a doing, living document that you are doing right now. And then for this C right here, let's see, Maya, can you read C for me?
The whole thing or just?
You can read the whole thing, C, and then 1, 2, 3.
It says maintains physical and emotional well-being, aware of personal values and their implication for practice, mindful of self as growing and developing practitioner, understands the importance of self-care and the responsibility to seek guidance, counseling, and support.
Yeah, thank you, Maya. So when we are talking about the responsibilities for yourself, it is your responsibility that you are maintaining physical and emotional well-being. So I have a friend who worked in the foster care system. She worked as a caseworker, and every day she had to go take out babies from their families. She had to, take children away from their families. And it really got to her. She got very depressed. And there is an aspect of working with children and youth, especially in high stress jobs, where you have to be taking care of yourself as you're going through your job. It might be important that you leave work at work, you don't take it home with you, or you get mental health counseling because you have a lot of other stressors and you see a lot of pretty bad situations, right? So these are things that in the category of responsibility for self and what you believe that you need to take care of yourself, these are how you do those things. These are how you do those things. You take care of yourself through self-care. You also realize that you're developing and growing, and how can you get better at your job? And you understand that maybe your personal values don't always go with the job, and maybe that's something you need to take care of. Maybe you don't need to be at that place of work. So these are the things that you think about. So think about it as an onion. So Tahira, this is where maybe we could help with the confusion. So the area of the code of ethics is your responsibility for self. Then underneath that category, it in blue is what you believe to be responsibility for yourself. And then in brown is how you are responsible for yourself, how you act and are responsible. So let me know what I want you to let me know in the chat if you understand this, yes, or if you're confused, C. How's that? I just confused you a little bit more. So what is your question? Do you have a question, Zahira, Za and Tahira? What are some questions that I can answer? So are we wondering like, what is the point of having a code of ethics? Are we confused about why we need to know this? Any feedback would be good because I understand it's a lot. Don't make me start singing or play Kids Bop. Anaje hates Kids Bop. It's not really a question, you're just not understanding. Okay, okay. All right, so maybe another way to think about this is, no, I don't understand it, sorry. That's okay, there's not a reason to be sorry. This is confusing. So one way to think about this is when there is an issue, it's important that you know kind of the guidelines to follow. So maybe once we go to our okay. Thank you, Clarissa. So maybe once we go and we practice it, we're going to have an activity where we practice situations and apply them to this code of ethics. Maybe that'll be a little bit easier. But for right now, we'll do that in a little bit. And so for right now, what I want you guys to do is I want you to go back to the Nearpod, and I will link it in the chat. So if we go back to the Nearpod, I want you to look at, if you're on the Nearpod, I want you to take 10 minutes and you can look at it here. So on the Nearpod, you can look at it here. It's on the PDF viewer. And so you can read through all of the code of ethics. And maybe you don't want to read through it. Maybe you want to listen to it. Miss Erin, is there a thing that we could listen to the code of ethics on the computer as a technology tool instead of
I think so. Hold on one second. So I think you have to highlight the text first.
Oh, and you guys should have this up here on your Chromebook. So if you highlight the text,
There should be an extension on everybody's Chromebook, and I don't remember what it's called, but
yeah.
It might be something that says like dyslexia or reader or something like that.
Yeah, I feel like it was like called something. Maybe I don't have it, maybe you guys have it, but it should be called like interactive reader. Was that it?
So I don't know if immersive reader is on their iPads like we asked, or on their Chromebooks.
If you can't, I can read through it, but we'll figure it out. There's no worries. But take 10 minutes to review the standards of practice for child and youth care professionals and think about what sticks out to you. Like, what are things that are popping out? And what do you think the most important blue parts are? And is there anything you don't understand? So take 10 minutes, guys. I will be right back and I can read it out to you. Write a private chat to me. I'm sorry. I just had coffee. I need to go to the bathroom so badly. I go like once every 5 minutes. I'll be right back. 10 minutes.
Okay, so Miss Mallory was asking for you guys to read these standards and just kind of go through them, explore them a little bit. And then in Nearpod, it gives you a chance to write down any questions that you have, anything that sticks out to you, anything that you agree with or disagree with. Does that help, Miss Page?
Okay. So sorry, I'm back. Okay, so what we're doing is we're reviewing the standards of practice. So on Nearpod, let me connect the Nearpod again. So the Nearpod, oh, that might not go there. Let me share it. Let me share it here. There we go. So go to the Nearpod, and in the top left-hand corner, there's a PDF, and that is of all the code of ethics. So I can actually read it off if that would be good. If you guys want to listen to me read and don't want to read on your own, you can mute me if you want to read it on your own. So that's just, you go over, hover over me, and then you do. No, I don't think you can mute me, but you can turn off your sound. You can turn off your sound, if that makes sense. So we're going to read all of it. So what we're going to do is we are going to read all of it. So Ms. Erin will share her screen, and we're going to do the immersive reader because this is a really good thing. So you can listen. So maybe you're a person that likes to read, but also likes to hear it as well. So Ms. Erin is going to share her screen and show you how to do the immersive reader.
Okay, so it's a Google Chrome extension that I had previously downloaded, and I can share after we do this on how to do that specifically. But it's Google Chrome extensions look like this on the top of your page, and they're just little add-ons to help you with different things. So I already have Immersive Reader. Of course, it's not working right now. How embarrassing. Don't you just love technology?
Technology is the best, guys.
It stinks that you have to make an account for everyone, but once you do it once, it should hopefully stick with it. So I like Immersive Reader because once you highlight text, it'll read it out loud to you, and you can change it into different languages if you want, different speeds. Like, it's really a cool thing once it starts working.
That's awesome.
Did I click on the wrong thing? Probably. Because I'm on the spot and now I'm sweating.
Oh my gosh, you guys. Ms. Erin, she's like, how do I do this?
Okay. I needed access. Maybe I need access to your document to do it.
Okay, yeah. Oh, no, maybe not.
Okay, sorry. So to get started. So usually just highlight the text. And then it should say read to me,
Oh, okay.
but sorry guys, hold on.
Okay, maybe I will go to see if you can. I'm going to share it with you and you can. I'm going to add Miss Erin. And you can, now you have access.
We're trying to be fancy and we probably could have just read it all by now.
We would have been done with it, but all good technology. But this is something good to have if you're kind of like, if you just want to listen to what you're going over in the background. This is really good to have. So we'll teach you to do that.
I wonder if it has to be a website, and this isn't a website.
Could it? That, I mean, totally could be it.
I think that's what it is. Sorry.
That's okay. Let's, can I do C in part 2? You want to read it, Clarissa? Is that, or just? All right. So if we go back to the Nearpod, let's go back to the Nearpod. I will. Okay. Oh, yes, Clarissa, yes. Oh, now my copy and paste isn't working. It's like my computer just can't handle life right now. All right, let me get, there it is. Copy that, copy that, copy that, get to my Zoom. All right, so if we go back to the Nearpod, what we were doing is we were reading through the PDF of the standards for practice. And then we were kind of writing down what stuck out to us. So maybe like, for me, what sticks out to me in our code of ethics is responsibility. I think the most important thing I think for me is the responsibility to children, youth, and families, and do not cause harm. I think that is probably the most important thing to remember, because harm can be emotional harm, physical harm, and we need to figure out how not to cause that. It cut you off when you were typing? That's totally fine. Let me see.
I think the time went up.
The time went out. That's okay. If you want to write down what stuck out to you in the chat, that would be great as well. Okay, IBB. Okay. All right, so let's look at this. Let's go over this. All right. Okay, so, and I will quickly read through this just because I think it is important for us to read through. So principles and standards. Responsibility for self is the area. And then we have A, how we do this, the principle is demonstrates high standards of integrity and professional conduct. B, develops knowledge and skills necessary to benefit children, youth, and families. And then the standards, how we do it in the brown, participate in education and training for ongoing professional development. And 2, engages in ongoing supervision and or counsel as appropriate. And C, we already did this one. C, maintains physical and emotional well-being. And 1, aware of personal values and their implication for practice. 2, mindful of self as growing and developing practitioner. And 3, understands the importance of self-care and the responsibility to seek guidance, counseling, and support. 2, our second category that we need to be aware of is responsibility to children, youth, and families. A, we do this by not causing harm. And how we do this is we encourage safe and ethical practice. And 2, does not disrespect, exploit, or intimidate others. So we do not exploit, intimidate families and youth that we're working with. B, maintains privacy and confidentiality as appropriate to role. And C, ensures services are culturally sensitive and non-discriminatory, regardless of race, color, ethnicity, national origin, national ancestry, age, gender, sexual orientation, marital status, religion, mental or physical capacity, ability, medical condition, political views, or socioeconomic status. So this is very important, and we will talk more about that as we go into the foundations course. D, provides protection and advocacy. We do this by recognizing respect and advocates for the rights of children, youth, and family. We support individuals in advocating for their own rights and safety. E, we foster self-determination and personal agency. We really want people to be able to do things on their own. So that is self-determination, personal agency. F, so if you want me to read through this, put a yes in the chat. If you're like, nah, I got it, put an N. So put a Y or N. In the chat, please. Okay, I got 2 N's. That's good. Anybody else? Okay. I won't read through it so I don't lose your attention. All right. So the 5 categories and the principles and standards. So what sticks out to me is 4B, because you never know what impact you make on a person's life by including them into something or changing their perspective about something when seeing someone else do it. So 4, if we go down to 4, so here we go to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, responsibility to the profession, and we go to B. Encourages collaborations among professionals, children, youth, family, and community to share responsibilities for the outcomes. Yes, I like that. Do you want to explain a little bit more, whoever wrote this? And if you don't want to share, that is fine. All right, let's see. No, okay, so here, that's fine. All right, let's see what our next comment was. So no questions, but what sticks out is E. So E is foster self-determined. So this is in, this is E, I believe that is E under responsibility to children, youth, and families, because it's the only E. So we have the foster self-determination and personal agency. And why is that really important? Why did you find that important if you want to talk more about it? Why did that stick out to you? And I know who wrote it, but you can share in the chat, or you could share privately to me and I'll share it with the rest of the class. All right, no one wants to speak up about it. But I think that's something that we try to do here at Youth Build really well. I think we are trying to, Sienna, okay, I don't know, for some reason, it just, you thought it was important to you. Yeah, because self-determination, like, we want to foster that. So in Youth Build, we try to make you really we try to make you self-sufficient in life. We want you to be able to get to that next level of your life by getting your education, getting your career started. And we kind of help you figure out things so you are able to concentrate on education. Because if you have to concentrate on all these other things like working and, you know, housing and transportation and getting food, then you really don't have a focus just on getting your education. So we want you to be self-determined and, you know, personal agency, take responsibility for your actions. So you are able, once you leave Youth Build, to go and live your best life. Like, we want you to be, you know, like I said earlier for the birthday, the best birthday ever, sitting in a bubble bath, drinking, having a shower of champagne fall on you while roses are all around you and you're just living your best life, doing the best career you wanted, right? We want you to have this. And so we give that to you, but also you are giving that to who you're working with. You are giving that to your children, youth, and families. You want children to be self-determined, right? You want them to be able to stick up for themselves and advocate for themselves. And this is, yeah, I 100% agree with you, Sienna. I think this is a great, important principle that we have. And let's go back to our Nearpod. Let's see. Okay, so that was 8 out of 8. Let's see if we have any others. What stands out to me is, oh my gosh, you're leaving me in suspense. What is it? What is it? All right. And I know Clarissa, I'll close this. She had said that C number 2. So C, so part 2, C. And I believe this is the ensures services are culturally sensitive and non-discriminatory. That is so important. That is so important right now. Because, so put in the chat, and you can put a yes or no, if you have felt some sort of discrimination because of your race, color, ethnicity, national origin, any of this, your gender, sexual orientation, when you were dealing with a youth and family or family service. So put in the chat, I'll write this down, a Y or N, if you have been we'll say felt, discrimination, look at my spelling, in a family or youth organization. That's good. That's no. I'm glad, Clarissa. I'm glad to hear that. And if you want to get off chat and talk about it, that'd be totally fine as well. Bye, Miss Erin. Nice seeing you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No problem. Come back anytime. So nobody has felt discrimination. That is awesome. We're gonna move on then. All right, guys. So we're gonna take a time out. But before we do that, I need to know if you have a specific question, please put it in the chat. You can private chat me so I can make sure I explain it. Are we feeling better? Are we feeling better about what the chat, or sorry, what the chat is, what the code of ethics is about? This is things we should follow. Are we feeling better about that? Yeah, great. Okay, good. It's honestly, it's just something that you read so you know what how you should follow. It's like rules to follow. If we had classroom rules, like for how we interact in our classroom, it would be something like this, like a code of conduct. Think of your school's code of conduct. I know Sienna was talking about, you know, things that she couldn't do at military school or the military academy. I'm sure, Sienna, was that list really long for the military school of the code of?
Yeah, you couldn't do a lot of stuff. And it was just like, why? Like, I mean, I understand why, but it was just like, it wasn't making sense to me. Like, why we gotta do this? Why we gotta do that? Especially
Yeah,
like hairstyle. Like, why we gotta wear certain hairstyles to school? Like,
yeah,
it was just wasn't getting to me. So,
yeah, 100%. Yep. All right, ladies. Yeah. So it's think of it as like a code of conduct, how your professional behavior while working with children and youth. So I'm gonna give you a TLC timeout because I love TLC. It was my first CD. You guys don't even remember these, but they were cassette tapes. And I would put it into the cassette and I would sit there and love on TLC. So I am going to, you have 10 minutes, you have a couple songs. So if you can come back to me at 10:26, that'd be great. 10:26. That would be ideal. Break. Come back at 10. Clarissa, you know I am. You know I am. But my favorite one is digging on you, digging on me, everybody, everybody. It's all like that. Also, RIP Left Eye. It makes me sad. And then remember, Usher cheated on Chili. Like, how could you cheat on Chili? Like that? I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Mm-hmm. Sing it, Clarissa. Love that song. want it tonight. All right, guys, we're running a little bit over, so let's wait till this song is over. So if you can start coming back in, say that you are back in the building in the Zoom chat. You can put a B in the chat if you are back. Put a B in the chat if you're back. All right, guys, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back, students. How was that TLC timeout? How's everybody doing? B&B, I got 2 people back. Who else is back? Tell me you're back. Zah, you back? Tahira, you back? Sienna's back, awesome. Did everybody do people's moms like TLC? Or do you like TLC? Or is it just, or nobody likes TLC? They're too old. I love TLC. Does anybody know what TLC means? I mean, like, it means their names, but does anybody know what, like, I need some TLC means? Does anybody know? It means tender, loving care. So I think their name was like, it stood for their first names, but when they put it together, they also we're tender, loving care. So if somebody says, oh man, I need some TLC, it means whatever tender, loving care means to you. So That being said, let's move on to doing ethics, which also will give you tender loving care. All right, so the reason we're learning these ethical standards is so we can actually do them. So how you do ethics is by knowing what the standards are and knowing, excuse me, and knowing what the principles are. So the process of doing ethics, so I'll read this slide for you. So you want to develop an ethical vision. So this is actually, we actually have this for you, right? So we know the standards are there. So this is what you already know what you should be following. And then 2, get the issue ready. So we need to make sure that you are, sorry, my notes got all messed up. If you wanted tonight. There we go. Okay. So getting the issues ready. This is kind of getting a clear vision of the ethical problem that you're having. So is there an issue? Because sometimes there isn't an issue. You just might be like, oh, this isn't an issue because I already know what to do because I'm not allowed to do this because my policies won't allow it at my place. But sometimes there's those blurred lines, you know, like Robin Thicke and Pharrell, there's those blurred lines. How do you get those issues ready? So when you're getting the issues ready, you have to kind of figure out what is the problem. And then this is when we talk about interventions. So what are the things that we can resolve and what are the interventions we can take? So this usually involves more than one person. So maybe you are, you don't know what to do. You just started out at the job. It is something that you do that you need your supervisor to help you with. Or maybe it is something that you don't need anybody's help with because you're just dealing in a child-to-child contact, child-to-child problem, and you already know what to do. Or maybe, like I said, your workplace has a process for how you should do what you do. And then the last one, choose and implement the resolutions and interventions. So you want to remember, what would a good practitioner do? How do I do this? So that's when you refer to your code of ethics and you are saying, all right, how do I do this? What do I do? So case development. This is how we develop cases. We kind of talked about this yesterday, but we're going to move on and do our own case development. So in your classroom, so if you get to classroom, you can go to the waffle. You can scroll down and go to, where is it? I think because I'm already on classroom, it won't. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I can go to classroom. And on classroom, I will find the class that I'm in. Oh, look, there it is. It has due tomorrow, 12:00 p.m., doing ethics cases. So I'm going to click on this, or I can click on the actual class and go in, but this will take me right to the assignment. So you all have been assigned some work. So let me see if I did this right. Let me make sure students can view file. Okay. Yes. All right. Now I did it. All right. So I would want you to click on the ethical dilemmas process in your Google Docs, and this will take you here. So here, put a yes in the chat if you have gotten to this page, the dilemma in early childhood education. Put a Y in the chat if you're getting here. All right, Anaje's there. Awesome. Clarissa's coming back. She's on her bed. She's on her phone. Hi, Clarissa. I think she was up dancing to TLC. Oh, she went off camera. Darn it. All right, so I have one person on this page. Let's see some other people. Za, Tahira. Clarissa made it. Tiana, have you made it to this page from Google Classroom? Siana, Za, and Tahira. Are we there? Siana's there. Awesome. So we are going to do the first one together, guys, and you can write this in your own. You can write this in your own page. So what we are going to do is, I'm on my phone. Okay, no, I believe you. I believe you. So what we're going to do is here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have 7 dilemmas. What I want you to do is after we do the first one, you guys are going to do 2 on your own. So you do not have to do 7 dilemmas. You just have to do 2 more. So do it based on what you're interested in. If you're interested in early childhood education, maybe you do ethical dilemma number 2. All right, let me see. Let me number these. Okay. So we are going to do the first one together and work through the case development process. And it's already written out there for you. So that is great that you don't have to do it again. And there's dilemmas in after school program and family care and all the fun stuff. So if you're interested in after school programs, maybe you do this dilemma and maybe you do the juvenile detention one. All right. So let's go over the first one. Can I have, let's see, Sienna, could you read the first dilemma for me? We're going to do it together. The dilemma right up here, what I've highlighted here.
Hold on, give me a second. I'll have to like click back to that. All right.
That's okay.
The first one.
Yeah. So the one where it says 1 dilemma in early childhood education.
Hold on. Oh, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, I can't see it.
If you turn it, you should be able to see it better. There you go.
The name is Zio.
Zio?
That's the name.
Oh, you want to go up one more. Up to the first one. So scroll up.
Oh, they say you always do special activities for the holidays, especially Christmas. Your private daycare even participate in the local Christmas parade. This year you have a 4-year-old. What that say?
Jehovah Witness?
Oh, Jehovah Witness in your class. The children family does not believe in celebrating holidays. You are not sure what to do. You don't want to something something against his family beliefs, but you don't want to give a I cannot even see that. It's so small. Oh my God.
I know it is really small. You're right. You don't want to give up
Uh,
celebrations.
yeah. Oh, that the other children really enjoy. What should you do?
What should you do? All right, guys. So this is where we use. So if you have your book on you, you're using the page 15 to go through the ethical dilemma. If you don't have the book yet, the standards of practice are linked right here. So you can look and go through them there. So what we're going to do is so the process and how you do it and work through your dilemma. So the only thing you're filling out is this last column right here. What standards could apply to your practice dilemma? So we're going to fill that part out. So if we're looking at our standards, so we have a belief, we have the belief, we have a Jehovah Witness, we have a Christmas parade, we have the child doesn't participate, the child doesn't believe in Christmas because of their religion. So what standards or can we get specific on what standards this ethical dilemma is supporting? This we might need to refer to. So what in our standards, what is, so it says, and their applications to your practice situation. So what standards could apply to your practice dilemma? What standards is this going through? What standards? And you can put it in the chat. So you can put, for example, if you think it is responsibility for self, you think it's 1A, you can put 1A. So maybe like you put in 1A. Standards. So you want to put in there, but you can put in the chat what you think and we'll talk about it. So you're looking at the standards here. And which one is this dilemma referring to? What are some things it's referring to? Anybody? Hold on, guys. I need to, so sorry, you're gonna have to go back. I'm gonna add this again because you guys are in the wrong link because I need you to be in your own, I don't need you. So I'm gonna make a new assignment, doing ethics. We're gonna view assignment. So what is this? What am I doing? So here we have this. I want to edit it. No, I don't want that. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm having technical difficulties. I don't know why it's not. Clarissa, what's your boo doing? Does he want to be in class and learn about ethical dilemmas? Sorry, guys. My computer's gone crazy. Mhm. Okay, figure that out in a second. Okay. So for those of you that are here, so we're looking at our ethical dilemmas. So what are the standards that we could apply? So if we're looking at our standard, what principles are something that we need to be aware of when we're looking at special activities, Christmas activities, even though we have a student who is a Jehovah's Witness who doesn't believe in celebrating that holiday? So what standard would that apply to? What standard would that apply to? I don't see anything happening in the chat. What about talking? What's going on? All right, so we can either do this together and talk through it, or I can let you guys go and do it on your own. But I need some feedback. I need some feedback because I'll be talking to myself. So if we're looking at the dilemma in early childhood education, if I'm reading over this, does it have to go with responsibility for self? Does it have to do anything with responsibility to children, youth, and families too? Does it have to do with responsibilities to employer and employing organization? Does it have to do with responsibility to the profession? Or does it have to do with responsibility to the community? Or does it have to do with something more than one? Does anybody have an idea? Any ideas? The one for the community, you think? Perfect. Okay, so in the one for the community, if we're talking promotes awareness of the profession and needs of children, youth, and family, models ethical behavior in relationships and interactions, B. C, promotes respect and appreciation of diversity, racial equality, social justice, and cultural humility, or D, encourages informed participations by the public in shaping social policy and decisions. Does it have anything to do about that? So that is community down here. What does it have to do? Which one? So could we say it is, so we could say it's V point, which letter would we say that it is a responsibility that we're taking with this ethical dilemma of what do we do with this boy who doesn't celebrate Christmas? C, okay. So we'll say VC. All right, so when we go back to our page, we'll put V, we'll make it not italicized. So we'll put VC and it's promotes respect and appreciation of cultural diversity. So we are saying that we are a diverse place, but we also have, you know, Jehovah's Witness who don't celebrate Christmas. So what is another standard that it might go under? Could we go here to the responsibility to children, youth, and families? Could it be seen as disrespectful to have the child participate in a Christmas parade? Could it be seen as disrespectful? Yes. Could it, so if we're ensuring services are culturally sensitive and non-discriminatory, so maybe we could say that, so we could say 2, our responsibility to children, youth, and families, and then 2, do not disrespect. So we could say 2A2. So we'll put that there, 2A, and then 2. And then that one is do not cause harm, do not disrespect. So that's the part of that standard that we're looking at. Disrespect. What's another one in that standard? If we look at do not cause harm, ensure services are culturally sensitive and non-discriminatory. Is our having a Christmas parade discriminatory? Anyone? If we have a Christmas parade, is it discriminatory? If you don't believe in Christmas. Yes? No? Oh. Discriminatory. Discriminatory, like discrimination. Are we letting people, are we making people feel bad? Like, are we going against people that have different beliefs than us if we have this Christmas holiday? No, we don't think so? Okay. So these are some standards we could apply. So we could say maybe there's a little bit of disrespect if we have the child celebrate the holiday, but also like we're respecting diversity and respect. So there might be like the aspect of this child thinking that he like understanding why other people celebrate Christmas, because he's gonna figure that out when he goes into the world, right? Like Christmas is celebrated everywhere. He's gonna be like, what is this? So we have these 2 standards that we're addressing. So if we go down here, get the issue ready, identify and include the key information to be important in considering a solution to the dilemma. So what kind of things do we need to understand about this dilemma? What do we need to understand? So we have one child out of a class. It's a private daycare. So it's not necessarily like, it's not public. So you don't have to worry about, because in public schools, remember, you can't say prayers. In a Catholic school, you can. In a Muslim school, you can, but not in a public school, because there's a separation of God and the state. Does that make sense? So it's private, so you can kind of do what you want. And so we have a local Christmas parade. We're going down Broad Street with the babies and Santa. But this family's child does not believe in celebrating holidays, and you don't know what to do. So what do we need to take into consideration? What are some key points from this? What can we pick out from that? So I would say a key point is daycare. Daycare is private. So that's good to know because it's not a public institution and you can do celebrations. What else? Hello. The daycare is private. He doesn't celebrate it. Yeah, family doesn't celebrate the holidays. They don't believe in it. Okay, parents shouldn't send him to school that day. I think you also have to understand that you don't want to give up the celebrations that other children really enjoy. So I think one of the important things is all other children enjoy it. So what are some things that we can do? So Clarissa said to everyone, she said, think through the possible interventions and resolutions, don't stray from the standards and get personal. So maybe because we are respecting, we're trying not to do any harm, we give it to the parents. The parents shouldn't send him to school that day. What's another possibility? Do you think we should not put on the Christmas pageant? Or do you think we should not participate in the parade? Should we be like, nah, we're not going to do the parade? What else? What else should we do? So this is usually celebrated, but because we have somebody who doesn't believe in it, should we get rid of it completely? Should that be an option? And we want to have more than one intervention. So maybe we get rid of celebration completely. What else? What's another intervention we could do? If we are trying to do no harm and do not disrespect, but also promoting and respect and appreciation diversity, what else could we do?
Are we giving answers like just to think of?
Yeah, just to think of. These are just ideas. We're throwing things out there. Nothing right or wrong.
I don't really know because anytime something like that happened in school, the parent just wouldn't bring the kid to school.
Okay, so we leave it up to the parents. We make it the
Yeah.
parents' decision. Okay.
Because a lot of times they don't stop doing it because they've been doing it for years. So
Right?
they're not going to stop doing it because one child can't do it or two. They'll tell a parent eventually, and then they won't tell. Some kids go to other classes, and some just don't come to school.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, oh, that's a good one. So so maybe they go to another class for the day. Another class for the day. That's a good one. Any other ideas? We make it, so we could put that there. Parents, we give decision to parents to make. We could get rid of the celebration completely. The student goes to another class for the day. And I would say maybe one more is that we make it into a learning experience. So that means that we do an activity where student explains why he doesn't celebrate Christmas. I mean, that might be a little much, but we're just thinking out here, right? And other students do what? They respond. So other students understand. So we have explore interventions. We explore the interventions. Parents shouldn't send them to school that day. We give decision to parents to make. We can get rid of the celebration completely. That student could go to another class for the day, and then we make it into a learning experience. We do an activity where the student explains why he doesn't celebrate Christmas, and so other students understand. So now we decide which one is the best. What do you think is the best? If we are looking back at our dilemma, we want to make sure that our standards, we're promoting respect and appreciation, but we're not causing harm and we're not disrespecting the parents. And so it would be the parents in this situation, the parents' religion. So what should we do? What would be the best plan? And you can put in the chat what we should do. I know what I would do. But guys, again, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just kind of what you think is best.
Miss Mallory.
Tahira, what happened? Where'd you go?
To the bathroom. Well, I took a shower.
Oh my God. Tahira, did you just go to the shower when we were in the middle of explaining our assignment?
Yes, because I got an appointment. I'm
Okay.
sorry. What did I miss? I missed anything?
Yes, girl, but you're luckily I'm recording, so you can go back and watch it later.
Okay.
I'm gonna make these into YouTube.
Well, how did I do that?
What?
How would I go back and read it?
So you'll be on Classroom. So when you go to Classroom, you do the classes, and on the classes they have the slides for the day, and they also have the video, the recording.
Okay.
So you will see that it says video, and you can go back and watch it.
Okay.
So I would do that. But what you missed is we're going through our dilemmas. So you have an assignment that's due tomorrow, okay? So you have to go through, we're doing the first one together, but you have to go through and pick 2 of these dilemmas and work through how you would solve your dilemma. And you're doing the process. So you're working through your dilemma by the standards. So the standards, you're like, okay, we have this Jehovah Witness. He doesn't celebrate Christmas. What should we do when his parents say we don't celebrate holidays, but everyone else in the class does, and we really love this. So we said, what standards are we working with in terms of should we be looking at to follow? And we said we need to respect, appreciation, and diversity. So there might be, we need to respect the parents. And it says, do not cause harm, do not disrespect. So if we have the child celebrate, we could be disrespecting his parents, and that could be causing harm, and they might not want to come back to our childcare facility. And so what is the key information? So we said the key information is the daycare is private, the family doesn't celebrate the holidays, but all the other children enjoy it. And so those are things we need to consider. And then we just talked about solutions. So our solutions were don't send him to school. We give the decision to the parents. He doesn't come that day. Or we get rid of the celebration completely. The student may go to another class for the day so he doesn't celebrate with his class. Or we make it into a learning experience. We do an activity where we talk about Jehovah's Witnesses and what they believe in. But that might be really hard for, how old is this kid? 4 years old. So we were talking about what we think is the best solution out of these ideas. So Anaje said, I would send the child to another class, but some parents take that a bad way. So if he was me, he would stay home. Yeah, so I think, so we're thinking how should we implement what plan it is? So maybe we should say, so Anaje, how could we put this into a step-by-step process? Should we bring it up to the parents first? Does that sound good? Okay. And then how about if we bring it up to the parents first and we ask them for their, we give them 2 options. Give them option, stay home, or student is in other class. All right, so what if they're like, I don't like that you're doing this. How would we come back with saying like, well, this is really important for our school? What would we do in that situation? If they say, I don't like that you're that you're still having this Christmas. Could we go back to something about the key information that the daycare is private? Could we say something about that? So if the parents resist, we can share that daycare is private. So we don't have to follow the no God in public spaces. Do you think these are options that go into our standards of ethics? So if we look at the situation again, do we think that bringing it up to parents, giving them the option to stay home or student goes to another class, and then by telling the parents that it is a private daycare and we're going to celebrate that daycare is private and can celebrate Christmas, that this is ethical? Like, is this a good professional ethical decision? Are we still promoting respect and diversity? Are we not causing harm? Give me a Y or N in the chat if you think that this solution is the best. Clarissa, your boyfriend can also comment if he thinks it's best. Yeah, I would say too. I would say that this is a good option. We're not trying to disrespect them. We're giving them the option. And if they want to bring their child in, they can go to another room for the celebration. What about the parade though? What should we do about the parade? Any ideas?
What's the question? I'm sorry.
So there's a Christmas parade in the city. So they go down, let's say they go down Broad Street in a Christmas parade, in the local parade. How should we get their son out of doing that? Should that be give them the option to participate or not?
Give them the option to participate.
Yeah. Stay home, given the
Because that's not right that his religion is chosen already and he's so young. Like, what if that's not the religion he want to do?
I mean, Jehovah Witnesses, yeah, that is a lot of people. Well, but that's, but that's not necessarily our ethical opinion. Even though that's your opinion, do we still respect everybody, the parents' opinion, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I guess you give him the option to do that then, because his parents, we already know his parents wouldn't approve of it. So I guess send him to another classroom.
Yeah. Yeah, and we can just say, give them the option of parade participation, stay home, or student is another class. So
Yeah.
always stay back with the student. Tahir, you went on mute.
Oh, I was about to say, when I had my son, I'm letting him choose whatever religion he want, because me, I'm Muslim, but what if he don't want to be Muslim? What if he want to like celebrate this or that? I don't know.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, though?
Yeah. Why do you think it's important for kids to grow up with religion though?
Because you gotta believe in somebody. Like,
Yeah. But what if
somebody.
what if there was somebody, what if you were working with a family and they were like, yeah, we're real Christian. I don't believe in any other, like my religion is the best religion, but you were still working with them. How would you kind of handle that?
I can't really say nothing because that's your religion. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wouldn't say nothing about that. I would just look like, yeah, okay.
You'd be like, hey, okay. All right, guys. So we did the first one together. So you're going to go through this process for 2 more of the dilemmas. You do not have to do more than 1. I mean, do more than 2. So even though there are 7 on here, so there's 6 extra, you only have to do 2. So for example, I'll read through the other dilemmas. So let me get to dilemma number 2. So this is another one in early childhood education. Zoe, a 3-year-old, lives alone with her mother who works long hours. Zoe often comes to the daycare in the morning dirty and smelly. Even the other children make fun of Zoe because of the way she smells. You, the teacher, are faced with several problems. What should you say to Zoe's mother? Should you report neglect to Family and Child Protective Services? What do you tell the other children in your class? What should you say to Zoe? So that's a big one. So what standards are you applying there? Kind of which standards would go with that problem? Dilemma in residential care. So you found out through the grapevine that a colleague was reported for child abuse at another agency. According to your sources, the charge was dismissed after the investigation, but the agency had some serious reservations. So we'll say hesitations about your colleague. What will you do? And then we have a dilemma in family care. You are working with a mother of 3 children, all enrolled in your program. The mother is single and works 2 jobs to pay her bills. One day, the mother calls you and tells you she is stressed out and needs a break. The mother asks you if you want to go have drinks with her and maybe go dancing afterwards. What will you do? And that happens. Like I've had parents as a teacher, like be weird. Dilemma, you are the director of a residential corrections program. One of your staff reports to you that Steve, a residential youth worker, is dating a woman who graduated from the residential program 18 months ago. So that's like a year and a half. Let's say a year ago. What will you do? And then dilemma and after school program. You walk into an activity area and notice 2 coworkers talking about one of the youth in the after school program. You notice that several of the youth are slyly listening to the conversation. What will you do? Oh, those sneaky youth. And while working with a family, and this is family care, a child and family team member tells you the mother doesn't want to work with the care coordinator because she is Latina and the mother doesn't like Latinas. What will you do? So you are going to be choosing 2 of those in addition to the one. So I'm going to figure out how to put this on Classroom. Also, another thing I need you to do is we have our scorecards due today. So I'm going to put your scorecards on here. And guys, actually, how would you feel? And you can put a yes or no in the chat. If I moved this assignment due Monday before class. So yes or no, if that sounds good. Monday before class. So you have the Friday, Saturday, Sunday to do it. If I don't hear anything, I'll just make it do when I'm done. All right. Anaje, yes. All right. So if I go to Classroom, and remember guys, anything that we went over is here. These videos, you can, if you need to understand like what I'm saying, you can come back and watch the video of what we went over today. So let me delete this. I'm just gonna delete it. But we also have our scorecards to do. Also, who is coming to visit me today to pick up their textbook? Is anybody?
I'm coming to get my book today. You said at 1, right?
1 to 3. Yep, I'll be here. So
Yes.
Chris is coming. Tahira, perfect. All right. So do you remember doing the scorecards from last time? We need to make sure that we do that. So I'm going to put that as an assignment for you to do on Classroom now. REP scorecards. And then I also have something for you to do. So do you guys remember your scorecards? So you're giving yourself a percentage. I don't know why. It's so confusing. So we'll go over this next week. But we did this for, we did this in session 0. Do you guys remember doing the scorecard? And you were like, what does it mean? How do I divide by 70? That's real. All right. So let me share. Okay. So I will do assignment. Mhm. All right, guys. So this will be due by tomorrow at 12 o'clock p.m. Okay, and this topic is, okay. So I'm gonna add, so what I need you to do is I need you to do your weekly rep scorecard. And I also have a feedback for you form. Look at those little babies just staring. That's so cute. All right. This is ungraded. Let's do it by tomorrow at 11 at 12 noon p.m. All right, guys. So what I need you to do today. So you want to do your weekly feedback form. You want to do your weekly rep scorecard. If you're coming to see me, make sure you come to see me. Text me when you get here. I'll come down. And I also am going to do, if you didn't do your professional practices vocabulary, you need to do that. And I'm also going to put in the ethical dilemma so you can start doing that. I'm going to make an ed puzzle on how you do this because I think it's a little bit complicated. And maybe we just need a little bit of a better idea of how to do it. So that being said, I'm going to stay on Zoom. You have until about noon. If you want to ask me any questions and stay here, feel free to do so. If not, I will see you tomorrow at advisory at 9 o'clock. Okay? So let me write in the chat what you need to do. Weekly feedback. Do your rep scorecard. And then you can start your ethical dilemma homework.
Is it another class I go to?
Tomorrow?
No,
Or
right
today?
now, today.
No, you're done for the day.
Schedule, why on the schedule? When do?
Oh, on the
I'm
schedule.
lost.
So yeah, so Miss Maddie's not here today. Usually there will be homework or not homework. There will be, let me see. Because on the schedule, there is, hold on 1 second. I can't find my life. Okay. Oh, I have so many tabs, I don't even know what I'm doing. Okay. So usually on the schedule, there is, So yeah, so today there was supposed to be the COVID book planning, but Miss Maddie's sick, but she will send you that link next week. Next week we will really start volunteering.
Okay, because I was looking at my schedule and it say 3:30. I'm like,
We
am I
can leave
supposed to go up the classes?
Yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no.
I'm so sorry. Somebody was all talking. I'm so sorry. I really can't even hear.
Tyra, you're fine. You're fine. Yeah, so usually where it's the blue right here, we will have that's something you could do for volunteering, but we won't have that today because Miss Maddie's not here. And then usually 3:30 to, we just have to make these schedules so you kind of know how your day looks. But since you have, what I would suggest you do is I would fill out the forms in your rep scorecard today, but think about your homework for doing it for later if you don't have to do it right now.
Okay.
Okay. So you may leave if you need to or want to. Tahira, you can leave if you want to. You can stay here and fill out your forms from Google Classroom, and I'll put them in the chat too, so you could do them here. Oh, there's these.
I can fill out. I know how to do my things. So I'm gonna leave. Okay.
Okay.
I'm leaving.
I'll see you guys later then.
All right, you too. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I really wasn't paying attention a little bit today. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Watch the video. It's okay. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have a good one. Clarissa, what time do you plan on coming? Okay. Sounds good. I'll see you later then. You can leave, okay? Unless you want to stay on because you have questions, but no need. 2:30? Okay, sounds good. I'll see you then.